Okay, YouTubers. This is second episode, second video of Sam's Drunkin Walking Dead reviews. Okay, so just trying to let you guys know, it won't always be Walking Dead reviews. Could expand on other shows. Depends on how popular this channel gets. Want to expand on more shows, so please like, subscribe, share. Make sure I get noticed, right? Um, just want to expand on my review of Slabtown. Expand on my review. Slabtown. So I didn't get through much. Talked about what I basically looked at through the video. Reviewed Douglas Monroe, possible introduction of him, possible introduction of Aaron, and what I expect for the next couple episodes. And basically talking about how I think Noah is a hint to the Alexander safe zone. But this time, I'm going to talk about what's going on with Carol. What other things like who we still don't know who's in the woods with Daryl. I think I mentioned in the last episode, the last video, that could be Aaron, and that's who I honestly think it is, but could be Morgan too, maybe Morgan. Yeah. So let's discuss this now. With Carol, I didn't see that exact scene coming. Saw it maybe. I saw maybe that I knew something bad would happen to her based on Daryl's expression. Daryl did not look happy when he came out of the woods. Maybe he's being held hostage. I don't know. He just looked like upset with himself, or maybe like kind of worried. That's the message I got from his acting. Norman Reedus' acting. Right? So I wasn't surprised that Carol was in danger at the end of that episode. Now, Carol, the way I think she should go is suicide, as I mentioned before. Be a great homage to the comics. She would definitely I don't know where I was going with that. Continue. So be a great homage to the comics. Other part is I feel like the hospital is completely different from the comics. There's no hospital in the comics. There's no Don Lerner. There's no forget what the doctor's name was. But really enjoyed the scene where a doctor kind of explains his dark side, right? Dark side to Beth. So he let that other guy die because he knew he would be useless if there was another doctor in the picture. He knew that if they saved this other doctor, that he would be useless. He would basically get kicked to the curb. He would die, get eaten alive by zombies. Who knows? But he'd basically not survive in this world on his own without the protection of the other people at this hospital, Don Lerner, Gorman, all these other people. Which was actually another thing I wanted to get on. Gorman. So I've been looking online. I think Gorman could be like he's I don't know. He's just a weird character. He basically is attracted to Beth, which is pretty creepy. He tries to assault her, also creepy, and then ultimately pays the price by getting bitten in the neck by Walker patient, right? So that's his fate. That's his fate. Now let me touch on what I think will happen in the next episode. I think we're gonna see a lot of Eugene's trip over to Washington. Eugene, Abraham, Glenn, Tara, Maggie, Rosita. No one even knows, like, who is that bitch? Like, I don't know who she is. She's had maybe one line since her introduction as a character. 1 to 2 lines. I don't know, but why is she in the cast? For what purpose? Other than she's in the comics. They could have just excluded her, to be honest, because the show doesn't follow the comics all the time. They could have just excluded her completely out, and it wouldn't have made a difference. But I'm hoping that they make her more valuable, make her a more valuable character in the future, and they show us that she's useful, right? So for that, I think, like the comics, she need to be um, romantically connected with Abraham. In the comics, she is, I guess, somewhat romantically connected with Abraham. That's I think that would make her more important in the TV show if they did that. Other thing is, we could just kill off some of the main cast. Like say we got rid of Glenn, then we have space for Rosita. Say we got rid of Carol even, because Carol's now in danger, as we know. Then we have space for Rosita, and we have space for more characters. So that's like when you add characters, Walking Dead and AMC needs to know. You add characters, you need to remove characters, right? Like especially in this type of show. In this type of show, you can't have like 200 people in a group. Doesn't make sense. How are they all going to get the screen time? How are we all going to get to know their story? That's a very extreme example, but it's makes sense. So yeah, I'm going based on let's get to another topic based on what I was saying in the last episode. I I was talking about who should play Douglas Monroe. Now, Douglas Monroe, for those of you who haven't read the comics, is the leader of the Alexandria Safe Zone. And spoiler, so you've been warned. Spoiler, he basically gives up his leadership to Rick. Rick becomes leader of Alexandria Safe Zone, and I won't go past there, but that's ultimately what happens there. Now, what I was saying last night is Walter White would be amazing and would be a great cast for Douglas Monroe. But the guy I was talking about earlier, the guy I was talking about alongside Walter White, Bryan Cranston, was the guy. I didn't know the actor's name. I knew he played Mike in Breaking Bad and a role in Community. For those of you who watch Community, it's a great show. Watch it. There's my thumbs up there. So Mike, I'm gonna Google his name quickly. Find out who the actor is. Okay. So Mike. Okay. No, that's okay. Jonathan Banks. That would be a great person to play Douglas Monroe. That would be great. I was also listening to some other predictions about who could play him. I think those would be my two most reasonable predictions. Now, Jonathan Banks would probably play him more likely than Bryan Cranston would, right? Now, I know a lot of you like to hear who would play the role of Negan, right? So, role of Negan. Let me just pull up his name from here. Patrick Warburton. Patrick Warburton, aka voice of Joe in Family Guy, many other roles. He's done a lot of things in the past. I think he would be a good person to play Negan. Yeah, just to touch on his filmography and career, he was in things like Scream and what else? Men in Black. Um, Family Guy, of course. Many cartoons. He's a lot of voiceovers, right? But I think he would be good in this role. I think he has the very square jawline that Negan has. He looks pretty similar to Negan's character in a comic, so I think he would be a good actor for that guy. Um, Either way, I'll be happy with with whoever they cast. So yeah, I I'd like to see where they go with Carol. Carol's a great. She's got a new. She's got a new. Like she's yeah. Um, I guess that's it. Yeah. Based on some questions I've been reading online, like okay, here's what I've been thinking about. Now, the people at the hospital, the doctor specifically, he was eating guinea pig. Now I was wondering, like, is that worse or better than eating human, like the hunters would? Now, obviously it's worse, and I'm gonna say straight out it's worse, but just bringing the idea up, he now obviously guinea pig isn't a common dish in North America, Toronto, where I live, Canada, America, even Mexico. It's not a very common dish. People don't enjoy that here. I guess it's very common in South America and maybe in the zombie apocalypse where you're desperate for food, and to the hunter's point where you're so desperate that you eat humans, right? But I don't know. It just kind of made me feel odd about the whole hospital thing. Guinea pig, really? Last point I want to point out. I think this is really interesting. So, Don Lerner is a police officer in Atlanta, so that's kind of connection. Gorman, another police officer. Now I'm wondering, when I was first introduced to Don Lerner, I always wondered, do you think she has some sort of connection with Rick Grimes? Rick Grimes, as you know, was a police officer before the apocalypse. So, do you think Don Lerner has previous connections with Rick Grimes? Do you think when Rick eventually gets to that hospital, he will recognize that woman? He will he will know her basically. Like I think that would be a very interesting plot line. Do you think Rick worked with her before the apocalypse? Now, I want your opinions on that. Please, we'll leave it at that. I just giving you that little thing to hang off of. We'll leave it at that. Please subscribe, share, like, and get as like share it everywhere. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Vine, Twitter. I don't know if I already mentioned Twitter. Share it everywhere. Share all this. Share my channel everywhere. I want to get well known. I think people will find this channel entertaining as well as knowledgeable. Walking Dead reviews, drunken Walking Dead reviews, and when I eventually get more followers, I will spend on the new shows. If you have any suggestions on the shows I should review or talk about, then PM me, private message, or just let me know in person. Because a lot of my viewers right now, I know in person. But if you don't know me, private message me. Let me know what shows you want me to review. I'll be happy to try them out and review them for you. For now, peace.